So in today's video, let's do some low light portrait photography work. And at the same time, we can test how this one, the brand new Sony A7 IV, performs in low light. So hi everyone, this is Jiggie, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So before anything else, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel and would want to learn more about off-camera flash photography or maybe just photography in general, then this channel is for you. So you might want to consider subscribing, and while you're at it, click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see more of my images, you could always find me on Instagram. It's at Jiggie Alejandrino. So welcome again to my small home studio, but today we're not going to be shooting here. We're actually going to be shooting in my driveway. But before we go out there, let's talk about the equipment that I will be using first. So the light that I will be using is this one. This is my Sony A7IV. Because we will be shooting in low light, therefore high ISO, and this is the weakest flash that I actually have. Now it's mounted here on the MagMod mag ring, and the modifier we are using is this one, the MagMod 24-inch Octabox with the focus diffuser installed. Now why am I using my MagMod? Because of one very important feature. As I said, this flash might actually be even too powerful for the settings that we are going to put in my camera today. So this mag box has an option for an ND filter inside the modifier. In other words, I can weaken my flash to be able to properly balance with my existing ambient light outside. So this one that I just put in basically is an ND8 filter, so it cuts the light by I think about 2 or 3 stops. So well, you know what, I'll put it right here because I'm not really sure. Okay, so now the camera that I am using this beautiful brand new camera from Sony, the Sony A7 IV. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me what the difference of this camera is to the A7R Mark IV or the A7S Mark III when it comes to ergonomics. I won't really talk about that anymore in this video because a good friend of mine already did a very comprehensive video about it. You could check out his channel. His name is Nico Valenzuela. I will put the link in the description below, and he is a Sony product expert. Therefore, he is very knowledgeable when it comes to this camera, and at the same time, he is a very good landscape photographer, and he does a lot of videos with regards to that. So if you guys want to learn landscape photography, subscribe to his channel, okay? So the camera that I will be using is this one, the Sony A7R Mark IV, as I said. Oh, sorry, the A7 Mark IV. I'm just so used to talking about the A7R when I'm slowly shifting everything to the A7. Well, we'll see. But I do love this camera. I love the way it's been performing in my initial tests. And now the lens that I will be using is my 50mm 1.2 GM. Now I am also controlling everything, of course, with this one. This is a Sony WRC1M, which allows me to remotely control my Sony F45RM here through my in-menu system here in the camera. And as you will see later, again, everything that you will be seeing is straight out of the camera because I will be recording the feed through this external recorder. This is the Atomos Ninja V. Okay, so with that, let me introduce you again to my model before we head outside. Babe, come on in, I'll introduce you first. Everyone, this is my wife Coco. For you guys who are new to the channel, for you guys who aren't, I'm pretty sure you know that Coco is the one that I shoot all the time, okay? So let's head on outside. So this is a perfect way for me to test out the capabilities of this Sony A7 Mark IV. The flip screen would be perfect in low shooting angles like this, but I have my external monitor here because I am recording, so I am not using the flip screen, but it's going to be perfect. Then you could see that it is really low light, so we can test the low light focusing, and at the same time we can see how good this thing is when it comes to ISO, because you can see here my settings are 1/60 f1.2 at ISO 12,800. There's a new feature here in this camera that wasn't in my older camera, this is, you can actually see your exposure even if you're using a TTL trigger. Right now, this is my ambient light exposure. Again, it's at 1/60 f1.2 ISO 12800. We are technically 1 1/3 stop underexposed. My flash power right now, my flash is set on group C. It is down to 1/256. In other words, it is at its weakest. That's why some people say that, oh, you need a strong flash. Sometimes I would say there are instances like this that you don't really need a strong flash. In which case, I even had to put an ND filter in my modifier, as I showed you earlier, to bring down the flash even more. Okay, so now let's take a test shot. Let's see. Look, even at this particular scene, or this particular ambient light, it is still tracking the face. And the moment I press AF on, there we go. There, perfect. It's tracking the face. IAF is there. And let's take one shot. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, babe. Very nice. I actually like it. You know, I composed it this way so you could bring in some of the light. I mean, we want to have this depth here. Could you stretch your legs a little bit? There, that's perfect. That's perfect. No, not that one first. Yeah, there. Just stretch your left leg a little bit more. Yeah, and then your right foot, bring it out a bit. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's nice. Look at that. IAF working even in this shooting condition. You guys can see it in the cameras, the video cameras. It is really very dark. Oh, I like that. You know what? It's very nice. Very nice. One more. Can you look up and stretch your legs now and just look up? Imagine we're already at 1/256. And yet we're still a bit overexposed when it comes to our flash. But you know, that one we can tweak back. We can tweak a little, or maybe, you know what, I'll bring down my ISO to 6400 and just drag my shutter speed a little bit so that I can bring in more ambient light. And anyway, since I am shooting using a tripod, 1/25 shouldn't be a problem. Okay. There. Still focusing properly. There we go. ISO 6400. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's bring it down to 3200. Let's see. And then just drag my shutter a little bit more. There we go. There. Now we're getting the mood we want. Very nice. Very nice, babe. How about looking towards the light? Chin up a bit. There. Very nice. Could you lean forward and look up? Yeah. There. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. Very simple. Very simple. Okay. There. I like that hand there. Perfect. There. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I really do like it a lot. And as you guys can see, this Sony A7 IV is performing so well, focusing in a situation like this where there's really no light. Honestly, you know, I don't even know the settings of my camera. Let me check it now. We are recording at 1/30 f2.8. My ISO right now is at 12,800, and that's what you're seeing. There, beautiful. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Very nice, babe. Love it. I love it. Okay, so this is how I shoot my low light portraits. That's why normally if I could use a continuous light, I would, but in this particular case, I just wanted to show you guys how a small flash, sorry about that, there are cars we're outside, so there's a lot of noise. I wanted to show you that sometimes having a powerful flash can actually be a disadvantage, especially if you're shooting like this. But there are ways to be able to minimize that, like the MagMod Magbox has an ND filter to cut some of the light coming in from the flash. Now the A7 Mark IV really performed so well for this shoot. You could see that we practically have no light, and yet we are focusing on the eye easily. There we go, babe. Can you move around one more time? Move around, move your eye. Look, there, look, look, face away, face away. Look, there we go. Look at that, look at that. It just tracked her the entire time. Beautiful camera, beautiful, beautiful, and high ISO, no problem when it comes to the noise. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And while you're at it, click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see more of my images, you could also find me on Instagram. It's at Jiggie Alejandrino. Lastly, if you guys want to learn more about off-camera flash photography, I do hold one-on-one online workshops, the details of which I will put in the description below. Okay, till the next video.